Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady News Source.
Good evening and welcome to Inside Northeast Georgia Elections on Grady News Source. I'm Will Hopkins.
And I'm Sarah Davis. Today is the first day of early voting here in Georgia, and you can cast your ballot from now until Election Day on November 5th.
And we had record-breaking numbers here in Georgia, more than double the number of voters turned out today compared to last year on the first day of early voting in Athens-Clarke County. Eliza Ward, an elections clerk at the Athens-Clarke County Board of Elections, told us more than 1,000 people voted today at her last check around 4 o'clock.
And these record-breaking numbers continued across to Georgia. Just this morning, Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, held a press conference talking about the numbers.
At 10:29 a.m. this morning, we already had 71,054 people vote early today. It looks like this is going to be a record breaker for the first day of early voting. But we don't make predictions. We let the voters decide. But it looks like we're going to have strong early voting today.
He also focused on security in this election, saying that his office is dedicated to keeping this election fair for Georgians.
So it's going to be free, it's going to be fair, and it's going to be fast. And we think that's really important. Everything that we have done in the last 6 years has been for the voters, so that they have results that they can trust. We're dedicated to serve the people of Georgia.
If you haven't cast your vote yet, you can cast your ballot at the Linden House Arts Center on Hoyt Street here in Athens this week. To check times and locations of your polling place, go to acc.gov/advancedvoting. You can also find all of that information on your My Voter page.
And don't forget to bring your ID with you when you cast your vote. Now that you know a little bit more about what's on your ballot, what happens when you actually head to the polls?
With Election Day just 3 weeks away, Grady News Source reporter Sophie Strack joins us live now to walk you through the process of how your vote is counted. Sophie?
Clarke County Board of Elections walked me through how your vote is processed, whether you vote in person, early, or on Election Day.
So the first thing a voter should do before arriving to the polls is to verify that they're registered to vote, identify where their polling location is, and be very aware of what districts should appear on their ballot by downloading a sample ballot from the Secretary of State's website.
All of this information can be found on your Georgia My Voter page.
Upon arriving at your polling location, you will come to a station that we refer to as the check-in station, where once your name is identified in the poll pad, you will receive a voter access card. It's a green card, and this card is specifically assigned to each voter.
After receiving your voter access card, you will go to a voting compartment with a ballot marking device and printer. Some voting compartments may have an ATI system for voters with visual impairments to aid them in the voting process.
The voter access card is inserted into the ballot marking device. Here at the yellow, the card should be inserted with the arrow pointing towards the ballot marking device. And the first screen that every voter in Athens-Clarke County will see would be the options of Spanish or English translated ballot.
Make sure to review all choices made on your ballot and then proceed to print your finished ballot after review. You then will take your printed ballot to the scanners in order to officially cast your vote.
Insert the ballot, and you wait until the ballot scanner screen says that the ballot has been cast. From that point, you are to go over to receive your I voted sticker.
After your ballot is scanned, it goes into a secure bag inside the scanning machine.
That bag will be sealed, and then that seal number is recorded on the recap sheet, and then those ballots are returned to our office.
For more official information on voting in Georgia, you can visit the Georgia Secretary of State's office website. Sophie Strack, Grady News Source.
Political campaigns may focus on capturing certain minority votes. It may be women, people of color, or the LGBTQ community.
But there's one marginalized group who face everyday challenges that could, if unchecked, compromise their right to cast a vote. Grady News Source reporter Jake Brannon dug into which polling places are accessible to all voters here.